All right, did anything of this work? Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, thanks, Tom. Thank you, thank you. My God, I was late. So much. I have not streamed in months. The audio settings went wrong. OBS crashed. Everything that could went wrong did. Murphy's Law in full force. Omar, hello. Hello, thank you. We finally here. We done did it. The occasion has occurred. Oh, gotta be honest. Did not really expect to hit the milestone so soon. Oh man, my annual goal was to get 10K. Yeah, I wanted to hit 10K by the end of the year, and now I'm like, well, crap. I guess I need a stretch goal now. 15? But I'm actually really happy with, I mean, the numbers keep growing, but like, I'm just happy that people like to talk about the things that I like to talk about, or that people enjoy what I'm making. So I don't really get a lot of hate comments, which is nice. Of course, probably just, give it time. But it's been a while. I miss streaming. I do enjoy it. Of course, I always screw up the audio settings. How's the music volume? Too loud? Too soft? Skrilla! Dollar bills everywhere. Oh my lord. Oh. Ooh. Yeah, I've also decided, like several other people, that when I do have the time and the bandwidth to do more regular streaming, it's gonna be YouTube only. Twitch is, yeah, Twitch is twitching. Seems like it's in his death throes. So, YouTube only. The streaming experience on YouTube has not been pleasant, but I gotta say this occurrence has not been bad, actually. The reason why it started so late is that I forgot to hit start streaming. I was sending data, I had the right stream key, YouTube was receiving it. Oh, I forgot to hit. It's been like 5 months since I've streamed. Oh. Oh, hey. So, everybody in the audience, Kane Snow, that's my boss. Journey from 0 to 10K. What would you say is the most influential, valuable, or funny lessons? Oh, damn it. Camera's shaking. That's because I'm leaning on my desk. Sorry. Influential. I would say the most influential things has actually been getting into a Discord server for other tech YouTubers. A lot of great advice, a lot of helpful people, and honestly just a lot of opportunities. It happened because if people are in the web dev space, Brad Traversy, channel over 1.3 million now, he made a video talking about like how he's been like stretched too thin, you know, not feeling too great, wanted to take a break, but wanted to also highlight other creators. So he was like, hey, who wants to do a guest feature? So I cold emailed him, sent him some of the videos that I made on things like awk and bash and R, and he liked it because he doesn't really talk about some of those things. So I made a video and it's on his channel. Like if you search for R programming, I'm like usually the third result or something because it's on his channel. But that gave me like immediately several hundred new followers, but it was also just kind of like I just talked to somebody who has the audience size of 1.3 million people, and they totally just let me shoot a shot. And just like teaming up with people and doing collaborations like that has been one of the best things, because now it's like I do a Google search on my name. Don't recommend it because you don't know what you'll find. But like I see my name popping up in different places now, and it's weird. Like it's really weird how you're just like, people are talking about you casually in conversation or your ideas, or you see somebody's like example of like a file and the way they formatted something, and you can immediately tell like, oh, that was influenced by me. That is exactly how I structured that. You see that stuff pop up, it's really like, wow, there's been an impact on other people. So I think that's one of the coolest things. Also, this camera might shut off. I still haven't figured out if there's a way to actually stop the half-hour auto timeout thing, but it just means I turn it back on, so don't panic. Valuable? Probably the same thing. Just, you know, the valuable relationships with people who are in the tech space. Like, if I tally up like the subscriber count of everyone I've had like collaborations with, it's probably close to 2 million people that I've potentially had my face exposed to, which is also kind of scary to think about, but just the impact is really, really nice. Funny lessons. Oh my god. Hire an editor if you can. I hate editing. I wish I could just talk, and even scripting is hard, but I prefer to just script the videos and shoot them than do any of the editing. My girlfriend does the thumbnails for me now. I don't even do those anymore. I need to hire an editor. So backtracking, Tom, Twitch is, they have problems with DMCA takedowns of like musical content, and like no protections for the people. Like you get 3 DMCA strikes, they can even go back retroactively 4 years ago or something, tag your content 3 times, you're permabanned. Like, what? YouTube has a lot of better controls around that kind of stuff. I've honestly never been affected by any of it. It's just like, do I want to spend time growing on a platform with no search algorithm or like growth algorithm? And with so many glaring problems. I mean, yeah, the gamification is nice, but like YouTube's actually starting to do more development in live streaming. I mean, yeah, too many eggs in one basket, but like, I'm not making controversial ass content, and I'm not really doing this so much for the money, and I can always branch out later, but just, it's not really worth it to continue doing Twitch. John! Oh my god. Well, we work for the state government here. There is no such thing as, oh yes, I'm just going to give you a raise now. Usually it's like an annual, like, yes, you've done your work. You have done your work satisfactorily, and there's no reason to say no, so here's your annual raise up until you hit your salary ceiling. That's the way state government works. Pros and cons, but the pay is now very nice compared to private sector in some ways. Benefits, security, yeah. But the sentiment is appreciated. Yeah, Brad is a really nice guy. Really down to earth, really friendly, and the fact that he just doesn't let any of like his like audience size or any of that stuff go to his head. He is like legit super grounded, super friendly. I like talking to him. Really nice guy. Oh my god, yes, Omar. I was there. It was so funny because I was lurking in the audience, and then they like talked about my tagging system, and I'm like, hi, hello. But then I was on Reddit, and I saw in like one of the subreddits somebody posted like how they're doing tags or something, and it was literally like almost a copy and paste of my tag taxonomy file from my published site, and I'm like, haha, I see what you did there. Glad you're enjoying it. Jeff, Brad is Brad Traversy from Traversy Media. John, the talk I think is actually on Bree Watson's channel. I'm not sure if it's unlisted or not, but it should be on there. It was talking about information classification. If you're in the Obsidian Discord server, there should be an easy way to find it. Or I mean, if you're in my Discord server, you can tag Bree. They're in my server too. Man, it's been so long since I streamed. I really enjoy this. I wish I had the bandwidth to do it more, but I need to focus on my schoolwork. Your boy's trying to finish this damn bachelor's degree. I finally passed my first CompTIA exam. Like, I mean, the full certification. It's like 2 exams, which is... Ugh. Part 1 was harder, all the hardware stuff. But, yeah, CompTIA A+ certified. Whoop whoop! Finally. Schoolwork is... I mean, for a data management and data analytics degree, there's a lot of content and coursework that's like basic desktop support for IT. It's an IT degree, but it's like, okay, data management and data analytics. So why am I troubleshooting Windows 10 systems and dealing with disk management over here? Yeah, like, you know, no knowledge is useless. More knowledge is always better, but like, you know, why don't we stay a little bit more on topic? But I can't complain. I get an industry-renowned certification for subsidized rates and a bachelor's degree as well, so I'm not complaining. It's just kind of like, huh. But more of my specific, like, the classes you'd think I'd be taking are actually coming later, which is probably going to help, because then it's going to be like, you know, a slow climb and then the downward slope, because it's going to be like really interesting. Machine learning, probably some more Python. The R class, it's probably R basics. That's going to be fun. I'll probably just take the test and pass that without even opening the textbook. My first week, 16 units just done. First week, just bam, 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 bam. Love that you can test out of things. My goal after school, I wanted to finish the bachelor's, and then, because of some wise, sage advice from people around me, namely my partner, take a break, relax, take a break, breathe, probably catch up on some of my personal research projects and projects I want to do, like my open source projects, learn a little bit more. Like, I got things I want to learn about. Restructured text, Python, Docker, more about DevOps. I got things I want to study. So I need to, like, take a break, not have, like, the, by the way, you're wasting time and money because it costs $3 grand per semester, hanging over my head. So finish the bachelor's, take a break, do some more personal stuff, research projects. Then, when I'm ready, go for the master's. Same domain, master's degree. Why not? My schedule, yeah, the 4-year degree in 2 years. Like, I transferred my associate's degree with up here, and then like I've been taking a lot of classes. Like my first term, I should say, first term. I think that concluded in February. Yeah, my first term concluded in February. I started in August, and I finished like 27 units. I'm not back up to that number yet. Hopefully, I will by the end of this term, which I think is in August again. Yeah. So I don't know if I'll finish in 2 years. I hope I do. I might be 5 terms total. But that's just because I've probably been slacking a lot more than I should, but, you know, life happens. I'm gonna be the guy in IT who can't maintain my own rig. No. My long-term goal. Hey, I retrofitted my dinky little ThinkPad with, you know, a new RAM, new hard drive. I got it all connected. I put Arch on it. Like, okay, I could do some hardware stuff. But I do want to build my own custom desktop rig, like overpowered desktop rig, and put Arch on it for some like heftiness. But ThinkPad X220, you know, 16 gigs RAM, SSD, Arch. Yeah. That's like, Master's is going to be in the same domain. So the Bachelor's is in data management and data analytics. My unit is data management and data analytics at work. And the Master's is going to be in data management and data analytics. So I'm going to have like degrees in the exact name of what our unit is. Yeah, the Master's, like, I don't even need any of this education. Like, I don't even need a Bachelor's from where I'm at. It's not going to help me get any higher, any faster. At this point, it's more of just like, I want to do it just because why not? I can financially do it. I have the time to do it. There are people who only respect paper and the level of my skills. Like, I've been able to speed through the coursework at this fast, so why don't we just see how quickly I can get through the degree? Like, okay, yeah, here's where my self-education got me. I got through the degree in record time, so I guess I was qualified, but here's the paper. Here you go. Happy now, kind of a thing. But, yeah, the Master's is going to be, that's something that, like, for me, I feel like that's going to be, like, a challenge for me, and that's going to be something, like, a personal, like, the Bachelor's is more for, like, everyone else. Like, see, I got the paper, so... But the Master's for me, like, that's an accomplishment that I want, and I want to feel proud of that. I don't know if I'll go PhD. My therapist says I should try and go for a PhD because I'm like perfect PhD material, but I don't know. Because mostly, I don't know if I have the time commitment and the energy, and just honestly the ability to confront executive dysfunction enough and frequently enough to really do a PhD. But we'll see. It's been on my long-term, like, out there radar thought, maybe? But the thought kind of scares me a little bit. So get there when we get there. PhD, here's the thing. I don't want it for a job. I don't want it for anything. If I was going to do it, it would be because I really like the topic and I want to contribute to research in that space. Because ultimately, one of my goals for in being in academia again at all is that I actually want to contribute something meaningful to research. I want to write a research paper, I want to have my name on something, and I want to be cited. For no other purpose other than I want that. Yeah, the learning how to research, research skills, legit. I think it's really funny how many actually follow my channel. It's probably because I talk about Zotero and like software academic resources. But I still think it's weird. But cool. There's a lot of cool people that I get to talk to. I'm gonna have a sponsorship sometime soon from Research Rabbit. I really, really like their product. Oh damn, nice. What's your PhD in, Jeff? Research Rabbit is really awesome. Plus, they're also like, their mission is really awesome. Like, surfacing underrepresented groups and minorities, POCs, in academia, where citation is currency and they don't get cited very often because of, you know, the typical paradigm, and like an emphasis on surfacing research from those areas. But also just the tool is freaking awesome. Really intuitive, really great to find papers and research and follow those trees. I really am looking forward to like a full partnership with them more often. Soon. Talking about how I integrate them with Zotero and some really cool things you can do with Zotero and Research Rabbit. more things to come. Some of my videos have not been hitting well recently. Probably because I'm not talking about like just pure knowledge work stuff. I want to talk more about code, but I gotta balance like what I want to talk about, what people want me to talk about. Cancer research. That's totally awesome. That's one of the cool things about PhDs too, is that you get to, in some ways also, I mean, one, contribute to the boundaries of human understanding of something, but also like the positive impact you can have on the world. Yeah, I really like the tool. I remember their first version, and then I keep giving them feedback too, on several things, especially like making things more like neurodivergent friendly. But yeah, I really enjoy what they're doing. I'm really excited for where the application is going to be going. I just wish I had more time to read research papers, but I get distracted by the mountains of things I have to do. And schoolwork, and learning more about my job so I can do things better, and DevOps, and code, and maintaining a YouTube channel. I'm sorry to hear that, John. My mom's biological dad, he died from lung cancer, I think from smoking too much. His dying wish was to hold me, and I was born, and then he held me a couple handful of times, and then died like 2 months later. Still have a family heirloom, I think. I think it's like a tie pin or a money clip or both. Actually, I don't want to get it out. It's right there, moving stuff between safety deposit boxes. But yeah, family heirlooms too. Exactly, Omar. The only difference is that your perspective, mindset, and understanding change. Difference between action, pure action, and awareness. Yeah. It's very Buddhist. Sweep the floor. Enlightened is sweep the floor, but now you're enlightened. Hope I'm saying this right. Odo? Huh. I'm glad you enjoy. Let's see. Some of the notifications for this stuff is not working the way it should, so... After enlightenment, the laundry. True. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I'm gonna post this on Twitter. Q&A. Alrighty. Find this thing really quick here. Boop, boop, boop. Thumbnail. There we go. And bam. Oh, there goes the camera. Yeah, I think it might just be the model I'm using, because this thing, apparently, the way they do DSLRs, if it's not like a full frame, if it's crop sensor, they have it time out. Like, it's stupid. I don't get it. And I've got like some software open to help prevent it from timing out, but it doesn't work. I don't know how to fix it. I haven't had time to figure out how to fix it, so basically. And please don't tell me I just wasted a lot of money on a camera that is now not exactly what I need. Ugh. Just got a book from Bruce Lee's wife. I read, oh my god, I used to read so much stuff about Bruce Lee. I loved reading about him. I used to do some of his like training routines or exercises too. Because like, you know, my actual degree I have is in physical education. Yeah, PE degree. I did parkour for like 6 years. I taught parkour. I taught gymnastics. I'm still interested, but I was really into hand balancing. I could do like a static handstand and like not move for like almost a minute. I was working on one-handed handstands at 6'6". Oh my god, I was really active. I'm trying to get more active again. I really liked a lot of his stuff, you know, when I was in that headspace. Oh yeah, when we forget our brains inside our bodies. Yes, I am more than just a floating brain in space. Like the transcendentalist thought of the transparent eyeball observing creation. Yeah. I heard that it was potentially even a sabotage isn't the right word. Foul play. That it was because of edema in his brain that was a result of maybe like some allergic reaction or something, and that maybe family was involved because of like infidelity, or I don't know. There's been some skepticism around it, but who knows? Hey, another Omar. You're welcome. All right, Omars, there can only be one. Oh, man. Been a long day. I think I spent almost the entire day just watching resources on Python. I'm actually really enjoying Python. The packaging of libraries, not so much. That's one thing you gotta give Art credit for. Holy crap, Ocean is in the house. Hello, good sir. Thanks, Michael. James, welcome. Thank you. Sahana, hopefully. Thank you. RC, I'm glad you enjoy the rune script. Hey, Ocean, you might like this too. I wrote a shell script so that people in their terminals can actually write English text to Elder Futhark runes. And I also made it in the R programming language, so you can actually do it to long and short branch Younger Futhark and Elder Futhark. Because that's what I do when I'm learning a new language, is I write a translator to convert to runes. But I'm glad you enjoy it. Man, I think let me get you the link if you care. This will be the one for the shell script. I haven't updated this one in a while. Oh, yeah, embroidery. Yeah, let me get that for you. Okay, I don't have a picture of that, but it's in the server. CSS style. Eh? Yeah, GitHub can be a little tricky, especially when, yeah, it looks like I did not really add a lot of good installation instructions here. That's my bad. But soy boy. Oh my lord. Omar, I forget what the device is called, but it's for clamping those hoops down so she can actually run the needles through. But let me see here. Here we go. Here's her Etsy. Oh, my Grub Box theme? I'm just pagan and excited. Same. Same. Watch the, like, you know, Odin with a, you know, a bionic eye or something. Just like tech pagan. Odo, thank you for the donation. Thank you very much. Pagan and excited. Odin's beard. Yeah, she actually taught herself that completely over the pandemic. And I think, what have I been doing since the pandemic started? Not this channel. This channel started like December before last. I mean, I've been learning Norwegian. I don't think I've started any other hobbies. Gotten into DevOps because of my job now. Oh, John, the Grubbox theme, my Grubbox theme is actually not on GitHub. It's it's like a thank you from my newsletter signups. But if you've already signed up, you can yeah, you can just like ask me on Discord and I'll give you the shoot you the file. But it's got like over several thousand lines of custom stuff I've shoved in there. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did start school. I'm actually rather fond of Odin's beard. I think that's my favorite there. Something else nerdy, Ocean. I'm in a bachelor's program for data management and data analytics, mostly for fun. I don't need the degree, but I just wanted to do it. So it's completely online, and yeah, it's gonna be like some Python, R classes, machine learning, probably some calculus. Yeah, some people only respect paper, so me racing through school just shows like, well, my self-education made it completely easy to get through this education with minimal effort. So yes, validate my skills. Thank you, paper. Same thing for the masters I'm going to pursue after. I mean, it's like I have the time, the money, and I want to challenge. But yeah, I agree. Like most of the valuable stuff I learned because either on the job they teach you what they need you to do. That's what you need to know. And then just like when you're interested, I'm interested in this project. So I'm going to do everything I can to learn how to make this project happen. You learn what you need to know. There's an investment, an interest, project-based learning versus just, I'm going to learn everything about this programming language, but do nothing with it. But school shows you how to learn, but they didn't for me. Or at least maybe it's they didn't show somebody who's neurodivergent how to learn because it didn't accommodate that. I taught myself how to learn well, and now I learn really well. But it's also just partly interest-based attention. Thank you, ADHD. But yeah, I think we have the same opinion, Ocean. Yeah, things like I can't just sit there and read a book or a textbook for 30 pages and like somehow glean useful information from that. No, it's like I need to actually use information, do something with it, or, you know, spaced repetition. By the way, that should be like a standard practice in education, is using spaced repetition with like apps like Anki or something similar, simpler for kids, like spaced repetition, period. How to actually take notes, like F the Cornell method, screw that. Do something like zettelkasten. Link your information together. Active practice and spaced repetition, gathering pertinent information, useful information. Don't just resuscitate. Don't just copy verbatim. Synthesize, like, and then just like the simple strategies for ADHD. Like instead of reading this textbook where my eyes, the typical problem with speed reading is that your eyes bounce over the words, bounce, 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 and they use a guide so that you can track. But applied to ADHD, you bounce, 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 bing. So reading with a guide, keeping your focus on the lines, reading will have you audiobook, so you have the auditory input sped up so that it's more input faster, so it keeps your attention and keeps you engaged. So you have more audio input, your eyes can track at speed with a guide. Right there. There's your reading hack. That has been so helpful for me. Just reading with the audio as well. No note-taking class? Heck yeah. Yeah, when I found out about the zettelkasten system and made it work for myself, same. That's like when it, okay, here we are. Now this is how it's done. Kids are just really plastic. Like, the plasticity of a child's brain and learning languages is crazy. Like, that's how you can easily have bilingual kids, like, no problem without formal training. It's just have them exposed, like, immersion in language. How do you think, like, kids in any culture just suddenly know that culture's language, that they're just immersed in it? I actually wasn't searching for note-taking. It was like, I read a book that was interesting. How to take smart notes. Oh, open floodgates of interest. And then the ADHD was like, oh yes, this thing? Yes, you're going to spend a few weeks here. And then we have this YouTube channel now. Here we are. Yeah, I hated taking notes too. And honestly, this is one thing that sucks also, or is also kind of cool about ADHD, is like, I'm not stupid. I'm, without being weird and, you know, sounding like you're bragging, like, I'm actually kind of smart. So, like, I didn't study in school much at all. I barely read the textbooks. I don't like taking notes. I didn't really care to do the homework, but I did it anyways because I needed for the grades. I just kind of listened in class as best as possible. You know, probably fidgeting too, just to keep myself engaged enough, and just took tests and did good enough. Like, I think I graduated with over a 4.0 because of my AP classes. But, like, yeah, I didn't really have to study much at all. And then in college, it was like physical education classes. I already owned a business in that field at the time and had been doing it for years. So the degree was just to support credibility in that field. So that was easy as well. Now it's like, I'm in technology and I'm doing a degree in technology where I'm already been self-studying for years. And so it's, again, not that hard. Finding that rabbit hole in Norse stuff. Hell yeah. Yeah, that rabbit hole is so deep. My library is large and still pitiful given how much is in the space. I'm really behind on my reading. Yeah. People who actually research the religion with homework instead of just believing Marvel and non-ocean YouTube channels. Oh man. Yeah, your video on what's his face, the dude who just collects money for a haul and never actually does anything with it, and the sketchy one. You probably know who I'm talking about, but when I saw that video, I'm like, yeah, those vibes. Yeah. Yes. That. Yeah. And subscribed after a while because I'm like, yeah, those vibes are strong. Difficult to teach a student how to learn. Not the focus of teaching. It's hard to evaluate the success of those lessons. Yeah, especially when the only focus in the US educational system is passing standardized tests because everyone learns and retains the same not usefully applied information the same way to the same degree for the same period of time until it's completely lost after the standardized test is completed. Hashtag jaded. It's like, you want kids to learn, let them follow their interests and just encourage. Yeah, you have to learn some basics, but like, yeah, that's just, yeah, let's open up the can of worms about my complaints about the United States. That's gonna be hashtag digress. I read Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology. Yes. It was nice. A lot of the same stories that you come across in a lot of these like intro to Norse mythology books. Not really too much of a crazy spin on anything, but you know, enjoyable. Yeah, I like Neil Gaiman's writing. I think there's several other things I've liked by him, but yes, I did read that. Yeah, the bad vibes. The bad vibes are real. Cult following. I mean, as somebody who's read these stories in like several different forms and several different books, it's kind of like the same thing over again, just somebody else wrote about it, and yeah, it just happens to be a famous author. So it wasn't anything like super special, but I mean, it was nice. Yeah, basically. One thing interesting, Omar, about the schools here, though, if you can find them, the Waldorf schools, those are interesting. I dated a girl from a Waldorf school once, and the way they actually go about teaching, it's private schools, so it's expensive, but they can sort of do what they want. Some of what they actually do there is interesting, but public school, excuse me, yeah. Man, I should have had a beer and be like beer stream. Yeah. Uh, I think I love Neil's Sandman comic series. Oh my god, I love that series. But other novels, I'm not sure actually what I've read. I honestly can't keep all the titles in my head, but I do. Yeah, he's an amazing author. Education is lacking enough. I can't find content like yours in my language. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish. I'm working on Norwegian, but that's going to be my first real second fluency. I took 3 years of German, Deutsch, in school, but I honestly can't remember much of it, and I don't really like the structure of the language. I really like Norwegian, though. Ocean, people got upset by Neil Gaiman's book, or by Woo? Reading wasn't an issue for me when I was growing up because I wasn't as, there wasn't. Wow, isn't this sad that even when I was a kid, which wasn't that long ago, I'm not even 30, uh, we didn't have all this fancy internet. We just had dial-up, and I was playing RuneScape and waiting for World of Warcraft to come out. Man, didn't even have a phone, let alone a smartphone. I remember when all this crap came out. Wow, technology moves fast. In any case, yeah, I would sit, I think I read the book Aragon in a day, like during a school day in like 5th grade. Just like sat there and read the whole book in a day. Stardust. I saw the movie Stardust. American Gods. I haven't read it. I think I started it, but I love the TV show American Gods. Flag in a Bale. I mean, I have mead in the other room. I brew 5 gallons at a time. If I wanted to go with that. People can die mad about the Woo video. Yes. Neil Gaiman book has some people that freak out over it. Yeah, that is odd. I read it, and I didn't get anything weird about it unless it was like some like history buff who really wants to be butthurt about something small. Yeah, I'd be interested in the explanation because honestly, I don't see what would be inflammatory about it. The internet is mostly for getting annoyed at things. People bonding over their mutual hatred of some subject. Yeah. That explains much of the internet. Plus there's also that famous song about what the internet is for. The internet is for... Yeah. Oh, my flavor. It's actually a recipe I got from a friend who actually made this Mjolnir for me. He owns a small like blacksmithing business in Pennsylvania now, but he used to live here, and I used to see him occasionally throughout the year at parkour events because he'd drive up from LA. But he made me this Mjolnir and gave me my mead recipe. It's a nice fall mead. I like to do now, it used to be like 3 pounds per gallon, but I like to do 5 pounds of honey per gallon in a 5-gallon bucket. And I add chopped navel oranges, raisins, cinnamon sticks, and just some plain old bread yeast. Toss that into a bucket, let it sit for 2 months. Oh, it's really great, really strong. I mean, I'm 6'6", I'm almost like 260 pounds or something, and that stuff, a cup of that, I'll almost get buzzed off of a full, well, cup, I say cup. I drink out of a horn. If you're drinking mead, you drink out of a horn. It's a horn cup, but horn nonetheless. Well, Ocean, if you were nearby, you'd be welcome to. I mean, I just saw like, whoa, Norse pagan, ADHD? We can be friends. Yeah, was I in 5th grade? Yeah, I think I was in 5th grade when I read that book. Yeah, I'm not even 30 yet. People will get extremely angry over the slightest deviation from whatever they read first in 2 books. Yeah, reading, a couple books doesn't make you suddenly an expert compared to PhDs who literally read mountains of research papers and follow citation trees into the abyss. Like, get out of my face, bro, True. Gavin! Hey, Gavin. Oh, I got 2 out of 3 of my moderators here. It's going good. How are you? Yeah, dude, I'm 6'6". I'm tall AF. And until probably COVID, thankfully, I was still able to, like, backflip and handstands, parkour all over the place. Man, I need to get back in shape. I'm gonna try to get some gym equipment, start powerlifting again. I miss deadlifts and squats. I'll have to let my wife know she started getting into mead making. Right on. Yeah, hit me up if you want the recipe, John. Yeah. When I was in school and first started getting into the interwebs, it legit was MySpace. That's like the first time I touched like HTML and CSS was MySpace. It was all about MySpace and RuneScape. I really liked RuneScape. I was really into that. Yeah. Concealing my size with camera angles. It's not even trying to conceal like I'm sitting. It's like you don't even know how tall I am unless you see me usually, like in comparison to somebody else. It's kind of hilarious seeing like my girlfriend's like 5 foot. Her family, like they're Asian, so like they're really, shorter than like the average height. So like you just see me, and they're all like, it's freaking hilarious. They're like all like, it's funny because like they're pleasantly surprised by like, oh, you're really good at using chopsticks. Oh, you actually like this? Like, because I like their cultural food. It's like, yes, I'm not an uncultured swine. Like, it's okay to try other food than hamburgers and hot dogs, people. This pale complexion is brain fart on the word. Huh. I forgot the word. Deadlifts and squats are the most underutilized exercise. Heck yeah, compound for the win. I mean, y'all think I'm crazy about tech and note-taking stuff. Like, I was this level interested and ADHD hyperfixated on anatomy, physiology, physical training, and exercise for years before I even got to this point in my life. So, like, I was a certified personal trainer. I taught parkour. Was certified to teach parkour. Taught gymnastics. I was certified to teach all these things. Yeah, I was a fitness nerd before I was a nerd. Work moved. Dude, that is awesome. Congrats. Feel ya on the busy part though. How's school going, or did you graduate? congrats on getting your own place. It makes a real difference. I really liked... Oh man, when I first bought my house, first thing I did, I just laid on the floor and just basked. Here in California, and if you can get a house, oh my god. And we got lucky. Like, this place cost us like $325, and now it's like worth $460. It's ridiculous, the housing market here right now. We're learning programming from yeah. Omar, I had the Nokia brick. Had Snake on it. What? Another Omar. Dang, this is like 3 Omars now. What describes my theology? If you're talking about like religious beliefs, it would be Norse paganism. I think Asatru is usually connoted with some other groups that I don't really like. So I just stick with like Norse paganism or heathenry either. I think I usually use heathenry, but yeah. Didn't know that. I'll have to get with you with questions. You know me? You know where I am on Discord, man? All the Omars up in here taking over. Paid internship at Nokia, and here we're talking about Nokia. Nice, dude. Congrats. Yeah, I mean, I was just saying, like, even if you didn't buy a place, it's just nice to have your own place. Like, I didn't want to assume you were like living with your parents or something, but I mean, I did that right up until I started my state career. Oh my god, when I first started working for the government, I was from the very bottom because like I didn't even finish my associate's degree at the time, so I was bottom. I was an assistant. And you don't make a lot, but like there was an opportunity, and this was in the prison. Like I worked for the prison system. I can say that now because I don't work there anymore. But yeah, I worked in a prison for like the first year of my career. And you know, it was actually kind of nice. I actually liked it, but they were so short-staffed in the area where I was at, which is basically just scanning medical records until they actually had an EMR. So, you know, like software to deal with medical records. Yeah, no, it was just scan paper into PDFs that you access in like a web portal. Really efficient. So the job of my classification in this unit was to scan papers correctly, date, form type, and to who it's going to. And you just scan paper. That's all you do all day. Scan paper, accurately scan paper. It was so short-staffed for a while that they basically had unlimited overtime for anybody who had the skill to do the job. And so I was there, I think I did 15-hour days every day for like 2 months straight. And that's how I got enough for my down payment at the bottom of the barrel and a promotion. But yeah. Housing market is everywhere. It seems insane right now. Yeah, I agree, Ocean. I definitely, I prefer the term heathenry as well. Because it doesn't sound like... It's also kind of funny how people get so upset by the inflammatory heathen word. But I feel like sometimes Norse paganism doesn't really give the right vibe either. But maybe I'm looking too much into it. But heathenry, yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm surprised. Like my house is like, it's like 150% of 150% of what we paid for it. So like I'm happy with like the equity, but I'm just waiting for the crash. And when things crash, that's when I'm gonna buy more mutual funds. Oh, Jennifer, you're welcome. Glad you're enjoying the videos, and thank you. Yeah, right now everything's selling. I've been hearing about like crazy details of like people with the most run-down houses, and like people are cash offers 60,000 over asking, waiving the inspection. I gotta restart the camera again. See, this is annoying. I gotta figure out how to get the digital camera to not shut off. I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I just need to buy another camera, damn it. But yeah, It's crazy. Yeah, dude, if you can actually like put up with I should try not to cuss on YouTube so much. If you can put up with a crap load of overtime at a good pay rate and really just put in the hours, like obviously don't, you know, run yourself into the ground, but if you can get a lot of that, oh my gosh, it makes so much of life easier after that. Just get to that point where you have equity. Oh, it's a great investment. Oh, is it true? What's that? I think I agree with that assessment as well. Norse pagan. Yeah, identifying that it's a pagan faith and then it's Norse in origin. Also true is kind of like the, never heard of that weird word. Weird. Web of weird. Yeah, I definitely identify with heathenry more too. See you. Oh, yeah. See you in a bit, Omar. Thanks, Gavin. This is the Canon M50 Mark II. It's kind of like an affordable HDMI output DSLR for webcam camera, and I already had it before I found out that because it's a crop frame, they actually set it in the software that it times out after half an hour. What? Then I spent days like looking around and say, okay, if you have this particular piece of software open, it actually pings the camera so that it doesn't shut off after half an hour. And everyone's like, yeah, this works, but I did the thing and it still shuts off after half an hour intervals. I don't know how to fix it, and it's annoying as hell. What camera do you have, Ocean? Because maybe you got a full frame camera and I got a crop, but yeah, I had a T3i. Like, I still have my Canon T3i, but I don't think I was able to do like an HDMI output from that. Maybe I need to look into things because I'm using the Elgato Cam Link and an HDMI stuff for all of that connection. Cat Rose. This part of California, fastest rising prices. Well, where are you at in California? Central Valley over here. Yeah, it's cray-cray. USB input through Spark. Oh, actually, I think I remember seeing SparkoCam listed. I'm on Mac OS for this computer because of school. I can't wait till I can return to Arch and do more Linux content. But yeah, if you're on Windows, that's a different story for me, though. Sam, came across your channel. What are my thoughts on Second Brain? Obsidian tips for tracking academic papers. Haven't used Second Brain? Or are you just talking about like the concept of the Second Brain? In which case, check out my personal knowledge management playlist on my channel. It has all my videos about all the things you're asking about. All right, see you later, Gavin. Thanks for stopping by. Glad to hear you're doing so well. Oh, Kat. You're not too far away from me, actually. Yeah, you were, actually, I work in Sacramento. I mean, at this point, oh my gosh, 10,000 subs. Yeah, I probably have somebody somewhere nearby in California who probably has seen my channel. Well, now it's actually funny that basically my whole team at work has seen my videos. So that's funny. Or when I make a video on a technology that we're using at my workplace that I learned for my workplace, but now I can make a video on it. And then I make a video on it and I send it to my boss because I'm like, hey, I made a video on this. And he's like, I'm already 27 minutes in. I'm like, oh. I guess it's just my benefit then that I have a job I absolutely adore that is just dealing with code and technology and DevOps, and now I'm really interested in DevOps. I was not before. Now I am because of my work. And now I'm like, it's all I want to do and think about. But maybe that's the ADHD talking. I mean, when I was in my prior job, yeah, there was a separation because I wasn't doing anything nearly as tech side as much. Like it was kind of like a mix of a job, like you're closer to the business side, but you still do technical stuff. But now I'm like in an actual IT unit doing tech things. It's literally what we do. So I'm like, it's all up in my brain. But like what I'm going to do for work now is actually I get to make my own production Python application. And I want to take what I learned from that on the job and actually apply that to my open source project that I have going on that I haven't had time to do because of, busy. And I want to actually work on this application. But now I can just, two birds, one stone. What I make at work will work for my project. Setting up PyTest unit tests and the GitHub superlinter with black for Python code and tkinter GUI stuff that I did on stream before for my productivity application. Like all this stuff. Yeah. Get to do it on the job. And I'm so excited. Oh, but man, seeing some of the people I still follow on YouTube, oh my gosh, I miss Linux and Arch so much. Just like write a bash script, throw something new into my status bar, or like, I can't wait. Maybe that's one thing I'll do during the break in between my degrees is I will just focus on setting up Linux again, doing my own Arch build. Hey, Ocean, thanks for stopping by, and thank you. I would definitely be interested and enjoy talking to you on stream sometime if you'll have me on your show. ADHD, heathenry, mead. I see you and Red talking a lot, so. Oh, Rixton, don't worry. It's no interrupting here. The chat is just a queue. Is Vim worth learning? Do you have the time? Do you have the need? And honestly, yeah, it's a great way to edit text and manipulate text. It's useful if you do anything with servers. It's useful if you're a writer. It's useful if you're a programmer. Vim is awesome. If you have the time and the interest in learning it, it's definitely going to be value added. You won't regret learning it if you put in the time, is what I'll say. Thanks, Jessica. Thank you. I think they've actually rebranded ADD to ADHD now as the official term, but just that there's different types: hyperactive, inattentive, and then a combination of both. So 3 main presentations, but it also differs between genders too, because my sister might have it, but a hyperactive 8-year-old boy, his presentation is not going to be the same as an 8-year-old little girl. People differ, so a lot to talk about there. Oh, thanks, Ocean. Right on, man. Well, thanks for stopping by. Nice to see you. It's from Vim. Don't fear Vim. Embrace Vim. Yeah, Omar has my favorite quote there. Vim is love, Vim is life. It's true. That's also what I've heard too, is that females typically have the inattentive type, but deviations from everything. I honestly couldn't even tell you what type I have. It's probably hyperactive. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if it even says it on my official diagnosis, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you got the diagnosis, you could always, try and talk to somebody new. If you have that luxury. Healthcare, if you're in the US, healthcare here is, it's something. using NeoVim and WSL. Right on. Vim in the wild, native Linux environment. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. I use it, I managed to get it set up so that on a Windows machine, it's actually my work machine too, so thankfully this got working, I got NeoVim in the terminal, so not a GUI, but I got terminal NeoVim set up so I can use it in PowerShell. And I think also Git Bash, maybe not, but at least in PowerShell I can use NeoVim. And it was able to load my vimrc with a plug. It did take some manual moving of like the plug vimrc file and some configuring of some of that file path, other nonsense. But once I got all this stuff set up, I basically have my full Vim setup on a Windows machine without using WSL because we can't use that at work. So good enough, but it was definitely a lot of debugging, but it was nice to have once I figured it out. Vim and VI, kludgy. I honestly, I'm not a fan of PowerShell. Like, for one, the case insensitivity is annoying because I have Git aliases in Bash that are case sensitive. Like GP is Git push, but G_P is Git pull, and I can't do that. And if I just want 2-letter Git commands for aliases, it's a pain on PowerShell. Like I have some aliases and things set for PowerShell, but even then, like I can't really download a lot of the PowerShell modules because of, you know, government firewall, and not really interested in the idea of downloading anything for a shell on my work machine. So just, it's not my thing. I mean, Bash has problems, but I know a good amount of it to get things done. And now that I'm learning more about Python and things like the argparse module, there's probably a lot more I could do with Python than I would do with Bash. But then again, some things just easier with Bash. Chain up some Unix commands, throw some stuff into FCF for dealing with the CLI menus and whatnot, and bam. I love FCF. I love it. Yeah, my medication has made an amazing difference in my ability to be a productive person. I was already productive, but I am like a much more organized and happier person now that I'm medicated. Yeah. True. We do have some .NET development at Workplace, but it's definitely not the majority. In fact, I think it's actually a great minority, and we're moving more towards open source and open source languages, things like Python, and we still use like T-SQL, but yeah, we're moving around to things, and I'm not sure exactly how much we do or would do with .NET. Carlos, thank you, and hello. I do, oh yeah, I forgot about the core. I just don't know, like, I don't even know the first thing about .NET, like, developing with .NET or what you would even do with it. I mean, I did play around with WPF forms with C#, like, way back in the day, years ago. But it's been a long time, and I just haven't had a need to use or learn it. Maybe that might change. Ever been on meds? I was one of the lucky females who was diagnosed as... Yeah, definitely underdiagnosed as a demographic. My sister's not diagnosed. We think she might have it, but no one ever thought to go and get her diagnosed or anything, so there's that. I mean, I did take a course on C#, and it wasn't bad, but I am just in general not a fan of OOP languages. I definitely prefer functional programming, especially when you can get away with it. And if you are going to do OOP, Python is pretty nice. Yeah, I'd love to talk about it. I could tell you about mead and fitnessy things, and you can tell me about .NET. uh, 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 uh. Man, it's been a crazy couple weeks. F sharp. I've seen a little bit of it. Not too much. All I remember poignantly is that it has the let keyword that looked like JavaScript, but that's about all that I remember. Huh. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, so I was distracted by looking at something. Functional first. I thought I remember actually hearing about that, but you know, not very top of mind. But yes, I do like functional languages. And given how much of the government is on Windows, but yeah, I don't know. I just have not, I don't even know the first thing really about .NET much. I mean, I've written Visual Basic, VBA, actual Visual Basic, um, bat files sometimes. Yeah. Not like .NET, like hardcore .NET stuff, no. Code. Code is life. Oh, it is only Tuesday. Sounds good. I could use some meat about now. Long day. I think after this I might try and do some studying, or maybe catch up on some tasks. Gotta kick executive function in the face today. Get some stuff done. If I can. I want to get... I have so many things to do. I don't even know what I have to do. What do I have to do today? So many. I haven't done any of my habits. I did take that medication. Because I have tasks to remind me to take my medication. Okay, it's actually mostly just my daily habits. Do a little bit of reading, and likely I should do some schoolwork. Yeah. Looks like I had the day pretty much mostly booked up for the focus blocks of therapy and this. Zakinator. Nice name. Heard your thing about hopping back on Arch. Gonna use Larbs again or ground up? When I have the time to do the setup and I'm not in school, which is the whole impetus for even having this computer, is that I hate Windows. I wanted to use a Mac, and now I have a Mac to actually do like cross OS testing. And also the content creation on this with Final Cut Pro and whatnot. So there were reasons beyond just that for Mac, but school. When I have a moment to do it, I'm going to be doing ground up Arch. I want to do a complete, from the ground up, my own custom thing. So when I get there, it'll be custom from scratch. But I want to get there. I've never used Calibre for digital librarying. If you're talking about like research papers, I really like Zotero. But it depends on what you're getting out of it. I haven't used it. I don't know what your goals are. So I wouldn't really be able to give you an accurate like lowdown of what's feature-wise, what might be more suited, because I haven't used Calibre either. Yeah, Matt, here's the thing. Having been using this thing for almost a year now, yeah. Like, I hate Windows, but this thing crashes on me more than Windows does. I mean, maybe it's because I haven't updated to Big Sur because, you know, I'm being conservative with my system updates and I don't want things to break. But I'm used to like the stable rolling release of Arch where it's not even a big deal to upgrade and you don't even have to restart your machine. Oh my God, I took that for granted. Yeah, this Mac, don't recommend. Windows, kill it with fire. Linux is life. Get your paws on some Sun hardware, Solaris. You know, I actually have a friend who worked for Sun Microsystems. I think actually before they were acquired by Oracle. He's done some really cool stuff. I almost tried to work for him not too long ago. I think that was actually a couple years ago. But yes, I miss Arch Linux. I love Linux, and being on Windows and Mac makes me sad. One day. One day. Oh, for the ADHD people in the room, on a scale of 1 to yes, or 10, how many hours do you lose to TikTok? I lose way too many hours to TikTok. I mean, half the crap on there is not interesting to me. Like, I really like a lot of the informative stuff or a lot of the comedy or skits, but like, half the stuff on there is just like cringe. But I lose way too much time to TikTok. Hosting. I don't know what you mean by hosting, but like you can actually store the files in Zotero inside the Zotero database, and they have their sync service so you can access the PDFs on their web service. It's free up to a certain amount of storage until you have to pay, which is their business model. But that's what I do. I keep copies in Zotero, so everything's in there. And then when the beta is finished, you can actually use their PDF annotator. It doesn't have the full extraction of Zot file, but it's a nice system. I haven't had a need for anything else. I really like the Zotero system. But because of the way that you have the Zotero database, maybe Calibre can read that database, or you could just have your Zotero database look at a particular folder, or have copies of files or something. Like there's ways of like loaning out your files with Zot file into a directory and then having that directory used in something else. And there's ways of doing these things. Yeah, Omar, confirmed. TikTok will eat you alive. I just sit there, sometimes at the dinner table. I'll watch while eating dinner. After dinner, a half hour, 45 minutes later, she's like, hey, weren't you gonna do things today? I'm like, oh, yes. It's like I'm stuck in an endless loop. Yeah, I made a couple TikToks, mostly just about my cats, but like I definitely, yeah, it doesn't feel like I'm too old for TikTok. I'm only, I feel like I'm too old to contribute to the platform, but I definitely get lost on it scrolling. Yeah, you can totally do that on OneDrive. Yeah, it's the Zot file add-in for Zotero can place all of your files external to the Zotero database, or you just don't have your files in the Zotero database and have Zotero. Oh, but then again, that's actually what it does. It stores a copy. Yeah, it might be the Zot file workflow that they're thinking of, where you can actually loan out items to, yeah, your e-reader or iPad. I have a video on that on my channel, actually, about how to use it with a tablet or an iPad. Same workflow should work. I mean, we could be one of the millions of people that seems to contribute to ADHD talk, which is where I get mostly sent by the algorithm. Like, hey, here's everyone talking about ADHD. It's like, ah, hello, echo chamber, my old friend. Oh man, gonna make dinner in half an hour. Yeah, it's true. There is definitely a lot of stuff that is not correct, but honestly, I haven't seen overwhelmingly the majority is not off the mark. But I still would prefer somebody to be like, these research papers indicate finding, but. Languages I'm picking up? Do you mean computer or human? Like right now, I'm kind of stalled a little bit on learning Mien, which is an Asian language. I'm learning Norwegian. And then computer-wise, I'm learning Python. I think language-wise, it's just Python right now. Because like I'm learning a lot of tools. Docker, DevOps, make files, but those aren't languages. So language is probably only Python right now. Give me the data. Yes. I always like seeing who exactly gets upset when you ask, like, oh, that's interesting. What are your sources for that? It's like, it's not me saying like, I don't believe you until you show me your sources. It's just kind of like, oh, that's interesting. I want to read further into that. I want to know more. I want to follow the citation tree. I want to dive down to the research rabbit hole here. What are your sources? And they're like, grr. Yeah, it's like, okay. Dinner. What is for dinner? Chicken? And something else. There's some like marinated chicken and oh, a cucumber salad. I'm making a cucumber salad. It's a really nice cucumber, dill, some red onions, a little bit of vinegar. I think it's apple cider vinegar. It's a really good recipe. I've never even tried to touch Java, to be honest. My sources are me and my feelings. You forgot ego. Gotta love people who just decide to fuse their ego to anything. Hello, my entire identity is my religion, job, personal opinions, political affiliations. Should you talk about any of them, I shall be immediately offended and then claim that haters gonna hate online and demean and ad hominem attacks upon you aplenty, and how dare you? The old Romani woman said. Ego, I don't have an ego. Dang camera again. One of these days I will get this handled. This is going to be a real limitation when I try to stream in the future. I need to get this thing resolved. Hate that it times out. I need to Google it more. How about I add that to Todoist and I just stop talking about it? Look into reason why camera times out. Pokes it with a big stick. Java? Poking Java with a big stick? Have I tried hugging my camera? You know, that might be the solution. Maybe it just feels bad. And just it's feeling down. Let it know that I care. Is what added to logsec? No. Logsec to-dos are just for my, like, hey, watch this YouTube video about this particular library or stuff like that. Or add this to your Python notes or something. For my actual task management, it's Todoist. Oh, I knew that about the Romani, about the slur, just like how you say Inuit, not Eskimo, and that these are slurs against those, what would you say? I don't know, would you say indigenous or just ethnic groups? But yes, I know that Romani is the technical term, I just don't know like what the quote was referring to. Yeah, this poor camera has to look at me all day. Oh, I'm sorry, camera. Thanks, Trickster. Big 10K. Now we in 5-digit land now. Yes. It's been an interesting ride. It's been about a year. No. It's been more than a year. I think it's been a year and a half. Yeah. Been about a year and a half. Get to 10K. Yeah. Oh my god. I had to mute basically most of my Discord servers that I'm in because just too much noise and I will get lost in them. Well deserved. Oh, what is my go-to fidget? Haha. I have links on my kit.co. Let's see here. One second. Gotta make sure this works correctly. It did not. Okay. Here we go. These are some of my favorites, but in order, I got them all right next to me too, actually. Okay. I have two categories, ones that are noisy and ones that are quiet. My favorite fidget toy is the Fube, or the Infinity Cube, because this thing is just, oh my gosh. I love this thing. This is my absolute favorite. But this can be noisy. Another really nice one is the Chill Pill. It's from Etsy. It's kind of hard to see here, so it's not listed on kit, but this is my other favorite one. It's really noisy though, because it's two magnets. And you can just like split it apart, roll them around. But the shifting of the cubes and then the magnets slapping together are loud. So if I was like in a workplace or someplace I need to be quiet, I want to fidget, I have this worry coin. It's like a heavy piece of soft, smooth brass with like a divot into it, like it's a little concave. And so just rolling this around, or, you know, thumb. These are my favorites. But normally if it's just, I don't need to be quiet, infinity cube. These are my favorites. Josh! Hi! Thank you. Small plushies. Actually, I don't think... Oh, it is in here. 1 second. I mean, I don't really use this to fidget, but we have our little octopus plushies. Helps with communicating feelings. Like, I'm upset. Or, I have had food and I am okay now. And they keep each other company over here. Bigly, Smogly, Boopsaz. What a name. If I could poof any Obsidian plugin into existence, what would it do? Ginkgo app. If I could have a Ginkgo app, version of Ginkgo app, that is just like a modal pop-up of whatever current active file you have open, so that I can then see each of the headings as like cards and their content as subcards, basically like the Ginkgo app interface. So it could just open up a markdown file in Ginkgo. You can make edits, close that view of the modal, and have it change your file to reflect or live reflect the changes you're making in that app. That would be my app that I would ask for. And the little octopi are... They're nice. We bought some for a couple people. I think we got some for my sister, some for some friends. They're nice. We gave each side a name. So like, we call like the angry side something. We call the happy side something else. But yes, it definitely helps to verbalize tough things without actually having to speak, which sometimes is harder than you think. Sometimes I just don't want to talk. It's not like selective mutism, but I just sometimes just don't want to talk. Silly putty. I remember playing with oobleck as a kid. It's like flour and some other stuff, some slime kind of a thing. I remember playing with that, and we would like, it would spread out on a table, and we'd lift up one of the ends and blow underneath it, make these giant like dome bubbles. Kid fun. Kid fun. Gack. It might be the same thing, to be honest. Could be the same thing. Dr. Cringe. Best place to ask questions is usually my FAQ repo, because then my answers are there for everyone else to see and refer back to, or follow up upon. So that link should take you to my FAQ repo, and you can just open up a new question. Use the Obsidian to Anki app, and it made cards out of like everything except what I wanted to. Strange. I haven't had any major errors with it at all, so I don't know. Yeah, the Discord server is something I usually don't spend too much time responding to anymore. Sometimes I do. I do kind of lurk my own server now. But if you want to like directly, I do like the FAQ repo, so it's easier for people to search for and find those answers, but yeah. Oh, hey! Brody's mod. Meeseeks. Let's see here. Brody's server. I haven't talked to him in a while. Oh, here we go. National Security Advisor. You're Brody's NSA. Nice. Da, 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 da. Why is Windows 11 trending on Twitter? Oh, okay. People are memeing. It's not serious. I hope. Is it? Okay, never mind. It does look serious. Oh, that's worrisome. It looks like they're getting very Mac OS-like. Oh, I see. Then you are doing the important work. But is it really that hard to do that? Like, it is just a weird place. Yeah, this new Windows. God, I hate Windows. One non-tech, non-language skill do you wish you could have? Non-tech and non-language. I mean, maybe better survivalist skills? It's been a long time since I practiced anything, like fire by friction, making lean-tos and shelters. A lot of that stuff I could do that, but doing more, I guess? It's hard, because like honestly, there's a skill I want. The ADHD is like, ooh, shiny. So like, I do bone working, I do leather working, I perform at Ren fairs, I do things. Oh, better HEMA, historical European martial arts. Yeah, if I could have real legit armored combat skills, like with real medieval weapons, that'd be legit. Yeah. I mean, I have friends I could probably practice with. We used to do choreographed rapier, hand and a half swords, and halberd tactics when I was performing with a Scottish Ren guild. 15th century Scotland, Queen's Guard, and all of our commands were in Scottish Gaelic. Did that for a number of years. Yeah, I still have my full outfit. I made my own leather armor for that guild. Made my own halberd too. Yeah, loved the marching. It's one of the few things I regret about not actually following through and joining the military after my window opened up after my ADHD medication. Is being able to do trooping or drill in the military, but you know, so I probably would have succeeded no matter where I went. But meh, I have a unique brand of insanity. Nice. There was a shout out from Satya that the next version will be game changing in build. Huh. Interesting. I wonder when they're going to try and roll that out to enterprise people. In which case, I wonder when I'm going to see that at work. Can Obsidian connect with EndNote? I don't know. I don't know what EndNote is, or is that a reference manager? I think the only reference manager connection they have is a CSL export plugin for Zotero. Oh yeah, martial arts. It's been a while since I've done any of those. I did a brief little amount of judo. I did some capoeira. And I did do jiu-jitsu for a little while. I did try boxing, but meh. I just went to the Ren Fair. Not handicap accessible. Yeah, some of them aren't, which is a shame. But I think the first Ren Fair I went to was actually the Folsom Ren Fair, a number of years ago. Cornstarch. Yes, that's what the slime was made out of. Turning him into an anime girl. Were you? No, you weren't the one. It was, what's his face? He's in my server too. Let's see. I think it's Wes something. No, it's not Wes. Shoot. I gotta know now. It comes up if I search my last name in Brody's server. Will. Will made the I think it was the image of like Caesar's murder, and like Caesar was Luke Smith's face, and you just see like me and Gavin in the background, and Brody's there too. I still crack up about that picture. Oh my gosh. I still think it's funny that like one of my faces, one of my, like from the thumbnail from this video when it's on YouTube, that face is actually an emote in Brody's server. Oh my gosh. You guys are crazy. Makes me laugh so much. Oh my gosh. When your legs work again. If you don't mind sharing, what's going on? I don't think I've tried kendo. I think I actually have Luke and Stallman as emotes in my server. Let's see, I gotta look at Brody's emotes here. Is there only the one that there's that one? Yeah, it looks like there's only one of me, thankfully. It's my OMG. Holding a special Windows event to reveal its next OS on June 24th. Oh, do you have a link to that? I would love a link to that. I mean, I figure I should just talk to you, John. You got, the finger on the pulse of the Windows space. And it's going to be straight from streaming, straight to cooking. Oh, man. Wonder if I'll have time to actually do anything productive tonight. Maybe I need to take my next Ritalin pill. Apparently it's not enough for my body to have anxiety and panic attacks. Herpes, deal, whatever. Dang. I don't even know what Channel 9 is, John. I do not keep up to date on the happenings with Windows. I'm sorry to hear that, Brixton. That sounds really tough. I think I'm not even sure if it was. I think I've only had like one panic attack in my life, and it was absolutely horrible. I had to run out of the building. That was a really bad job. I'm glad I left that job. Conversion disorder. Huh. Never heard of that. Must investigate. Interesting. Hey, Brody. You're right. You joined right at the tail end too. You got that that Australian time. Are you just waking up or something now? Your mod's in here. Your national security advisor. We were talking about the memes of my face and your face by Will, and the emote in your server of my face. Oh, Folsom is gonna have the Ren Fair this year? Huh. I thought they... Oh yeah, that's right. They do have their fair in the fall. I could have thought it was one of the early year ones, but no, that's Sonora. Which moved. Yeah, my guild's not attending any Ren Fairs this year. I think my old guild might be, though. But yeah, we're not. We kind of wrote the year off. I endorse the memes. Will's got talent. I still thought it was hilarious that Gavin and I were in the back hiding behind a statue. Oh, you get to escape loans with that? Here I thought you couldn't even declare bankruptcy to get rid of student loans. Who knows, maybe the administration will be like, yeah, forgive all the debt. Who knows? Oh, I wonder if I'll get any debt forgiven now that I've been in school for a while. That would be nice, to just suddenly not have any student loan debt and be able to start with a fresh slate. Oh man, it's been a journey. The state does have tuition reimbursement, but it's more geared towards, I mean, it would totally be fine. Here's how tuition works in the state. If I have student loans, I can get them forgiven by the state, but I have to make timely payments every month in, succession for 10 years straight. After 10 years of timely payments, minimum timely payments, then after that time, they will pay off and forgive everything that's left. So, after 10 years, you probably just don't want to be paying the interest, and you probably just want to pay off a small loan. And I'm going to like WGU. They're really inexpensive compared to other colleges. So I'm likely just going to pay it off. But it's really geared for doctors and professionals that rack up hundreds of thousands, because then they have to work for the state for 10 years. And it's a good incentive for the state to get professionals of that educational and professional level in the state doing service for that level, that amount of time, because the incentive is that they'll forgive your loans and the state gets service of a professional. So it's kind of more geared to those people, or people who rack up a lot of debt, and I don't want to rack up a lot of debt. So if I get a little bit of student loans forgiven from my WGU tuition, that'd be rad. Thanks, Brody. We're about to end anyways, so thanks for stopping by. Yeah, that's true. Pay is awful, but it just means you just can't store money in the bank. So it's kind of a pain. Yeah, I hear the disability benefits in the US are stupid. Somebody gives you a gift or something, or give a dollar too much in your bank account, all of a sudden they yoink your benefits. That's so stupid. Ha! Hey, Wolf. Interesting. I have never heard of that channel. First you, then... or first Ocean, now you. This is an interesting day. I remember, I think I tweeted at you a while ago. Yeah. or retweeted something of yours. Or Oceans. I forget. Huh. Fallout plays Destiny, not Fallout. Interesting. Yeah, hating Medicaid. That sucks. The agency I'm working at now actually deals with affordable insurance. So that's a nice mission to actually get behind that I appreciate. You know, it gives you like a sense of buy-in. Like, oh yeah, I actually am doing something good here. 100K. I'll settle for my stretch goal of 15 by the end of the year. The Beard Wars. Looking at your Twitter pic, yeah, you got a rad beard. Too scratchy for me. I couldn't do it. I think mine would be a little bit darker, but it would be red as well. Can't tell. Oh yeah, Sonora is too. I forgot about that. Sonora? No, Sonora's in March. Unless they're doing like the Halloween fair, All Hallows or something. Or they moved the time. War implies a winner. Beard domination. All right. So quick side note, Omar. I'm not sure if this is backed by any sort of evidence or research, so gallon of salt, but because of the Danelaw and how basically the Nordic peoples decimated a lot of people in, I think it was northern Scotland, if not the Isle of Man, I don't remember, but basically decimated the male population and replaced them over time, that red hair came from Norse? I don't know. Completely, like, I don't know at all. But it would be interesting because of how fair the skin is and the complexion to allow for better vitamin D absorption in the far north. So, I don't know. I don't know. It's not everyone who has the beard the winner. Yeah, mine, you might be able to see a little bit of it. It's pretty auburn, actually, but in the sun, like my roots right here, ooh, really red. But my sister, hardcore redhead on my sister. All right, everybody. Sorry for the late start, but it's time to wrap up. I need to make and eat dinner. But I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Everyone who's still here, thanks for wishing me a happy 10K. I'm happy we got here. And to the moon! Doge. To the moon, 100K, one day. It would be interesting. Victory dinner. Thanks, Red. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the Q&A. John, hit me up on Discord. I want to talk to you about the things and the stuff. All right, everybody. Have a good day, night, evening, wherever you are. It's evening for me. I'm going to go have dinner. Thank you. Bye.